Fucking every hole. Fucking every hole. Fucking every hole. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it. There it is.
Tell me your name, where you're from.
Nate Sexton, Eugene, Oregon.
Nice shot, Nate.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in to Disc Golf Live Video Magazine. Winter has settled in across the United States, but we've got some warm weather footage to help get through till spring. A pair of international events take center stage this time around. We've got the European Championships from Switzerland, along with the Japan Open. We'll see Final 9 footage from both these events and more when we get started right after this.
Production and distribution of Disc Golf Live is made possible through the generous support of our underwriters. Thanks for your support.
The folks at Spin TV have created a great series of videos from the 2014 Japan Open, all available online in stunning HD. We'll pick up the action as the Final 9 gets underway.
All right, Spin TV family, as promised, we have the third of three, the Final 9. It's come down to this. 90 holes have been played at the 2014 Japan Open out at Nasu Highland Golf Club. And I have here with me somebody who was part of this, who played well enough all weekend to earn a spot on this vaunted card. I've got Dave Feldberg here. Welcome, man.
How you doing, James?
This Final 9 is going to start on hole 18, and it has a pretty unique format. It's going to play 18, 1, 2, 17, 18, and then cycle again, 1, 2, 17, 18. This was so the spectators could have a good view. It never got too far from the clubhouse, and it adds some interesting elements to this round, which Dave is going to lend his insight to. All right. Hole 18, you remember it from the 5th round. It is a par 3. It's 100 meters. You've got that bunker sitting right in front of the pin, which you look at it because of the angle it sits on. And the rain started to fall, Dave. So what's the challenge of this hole right here?
The challenge is just to make sure you don't throw it in the bunker. You know, if people have seen the Japan Open in the past, this is the bunker I threw in to lose the 2010 Japan Open on the final hole. So you got to stay away from it. It's very dangerous.
And how much was that in your mind? 4 years removed, they haven't had this tournament, you come back, you make this final card. What are you thinking about right here as your tee?
I'm thinking throw it to the right of the basket, make sure you get a good skip, and it seems like that's what the other two players are thinking.
Definitely. You see, everybody's going to opt for a backhand hyzer approach here. They're going to err on it, leaving it wide. And if you remember, Macbeth lost 2 strokes on 17 and 2 strokes on 18 to come into this Final 9, 5 behind Ricky. Nico was 4 behind and Dave was 6. So Paul's got some work to do, and he puts one right near the pin.
He makes it easy for me to copy his line. Paul was clutch there. He was not going to lay up like the other two gentlemen. He wanted to make a stroke early and make a statement.
And that's definitely what his caddy was telling him to do right before the round. I heard Steve Rico saying, draw blood, go for it early. And when you're in 4th place on a Final 9, you know you can't get 5th. So how much more aggressive are you going to play than maybe the 1st or 2nd place person?
Completely aggressive, all out. I'm going to give it everything I have. If I'm here where Ricky's at, I'm trying to make it. But Ricky surprisingly lays up. Not in his blood, but I think he's ready to win. He's ready to be a champion.
And he does have that cushion lead, so the layup does make sense, even though he's known for going for those big putts. Paul is going to sneak one in over the top of the cage right there and pick up that birdie, getting a stroke early.
He puts the pressure on me here. These putts aren't easy with 150 class. And Paul led the way, and I followed him, and we drew blood.
Definitely not easy, especially when you factor in the rain and the fact that you've already played around today, so fatigue has to be a factor at some point. We'll see some cleanups here on hole 18, and we're going to move to a much tougher hole. we've got hole 1, 279 meters, par 4, OB on the right, tree line on the left, and now you've got a gallery watching. What's the added pressure of a really tight drive with a gallery at your back?
You want to show off. And, you know, the first time I ever got to the hole, Sam Farron said to me in the final 9, make the disc look small, like Paul tried to do here. Make it look real small, get it way down there, but he didn't put enough air on it, and it dropped out on him.
And there's definitely, on these downhill par 4s, which this course is known for having, you have that risk-reward factor. If you go high and get the distance, you may go right, you may tail out left, or you could play it short and down the middle with a little lower shot.
And I'm surprised, as you see Ricky here, and you'll see Nico, they're both throwing way left, throwing this Anheuser line they didn't use during the round. I think they're feeling the pressure already on the second hole, saying, I can't throw out of bounds.
You definitely don't want to throw out of bounds and make somebody like Dave or Paul think they have a chance to get in that window, especially when they birdie the first hole.
So here's Paul's chance. He looks like he puts a good move on it, but, you know, this hole struggled. He had 2 5s during the regular tournament, and now he's going to start with a 5 again, it looks like.
And you can see he lost his footing a little bit there. The conditions definitely affecting everybody's strategy. What did you do during this whole tournament to deal with these wet conditions?
I did what you have to do with 150 class in general, which is slow down. It's the best advice Ken Klimo ever gave me or my friends. Slow down. Disc golf's played too fast. Slow your shot down, slow your footwork down, and you'll make better shots and you won't slip. And
there was no stranger to the fact that everybody found out of bounds at some point in this tournament, so you know it's going to happen, and that's great advice. You just keep it in bounds as much as possible. Understand that mistakes are going to happen, as you'll see coming up in some of these holes, and you just let it go.
I thought that shot was parked. Me and Ken thought that was parked. It's a very difficult, challenging hole.
Definitely challenging. Paul's going to run this long putt. Looking good. Heiser's out a little bit early, giving Dave a chance here to make up some more strokes.
Almost fell. Oh, I held it. Wow, that was close.
Held it, chained it, making some more strokes. Getting strokes in the first 2 holes is a great way to put pressure on a final 9. Is there a different mental strategy that you have going into maybe your last round? You came up from the chase card in your 5th round. How do you play knowing that there's 9 more?
I just wanted to play to attack, and I wanted to look flashy doing it. The flashier you look and the stronger you look, and I was trying to look focused in my face, so when they looked at me, they knew, uh-oh, this might be a battle. I'm not to walk this in. I'm going to have to play.
And definitely somebody with your experience winning this tournament before and playing here for many years. And some of these guys are, you know, Ricky and Paul, they haven't been here before. They're learning how to play these holes and play this tournament in particular. We're going to move on to hole 2. You guys will remember it's another very tough par 4. It's 273 meters, and this one of the basket's tucked to the right up on a hill, and you've got the cart path behind it to the right.
At this point, I'm feeling it in my throw, and I threw it a little low, and I really thought this was going to get the flex they did all weekend, and it flexed, but I think it caught the little hill right there, and that's a terrible position to be on this hole.
It is tough when you're playing up against that road. We did manage to stay in bounds.
Here comes the first mistake out of Ricky. I thought it was going to come back for him, and now he's opened the door.
This is the first, like you said, the first mistake of the final 9, and this is a spot where you can't give players like Nico or Paul Macbeth or even Dave Feldberg, you cannot give them a chance to think they can get back in this.
Nico catches a huge break. He turns it low, and instead of going out of bounds like Ricky, it cut rolls back to the middle.
And Paul is going to take the green destroyer that he's been throwing all weekend. He's going to actually keep it high, challenge the tree, get the advantage of going 4th off the box. You get to read what the wind is doing and how the conditions are playing, and
perfect drive, I thought.
Puts a nice shot, very nice shot into the fairway. And Nico's, he's a little short on his drive, so this is a tough upshot.
I mean, I'm scared of this upshot. That OB is right behind it, hills on both sides, and this looks perfect from our angle. Even he thinks it's perfect, and it's still 50 short.
That's one of the challenges of these big par 4s and throwing 150 class discs. You really got to put a move on these upshots, not only with accuracy, but distance as well, if you want to have a look at birdie.
Now, Ricky doesn't get up and down here from there, and I'm surprised. With the sidearm, I thought he'd get much closer, and I think now there's an opening, so I go for the aggressive line here.
Yeah, tell me about this decision, playing the backhand towards the out of bounds.
I thought that at the worst I would touch the grass up there and take the putt for the 4P away from the out of bounds, which was makeable. But instead, they say down there we didn't touch, and I had to take it back. And it was probably the turning point. I was making a move right there and thought I had a chance to win the tournament still.
It was definitely a very aggressive shot, and then you bust out a forehand, and I can honestly say, I've known you a few years now, I can't say I've ever seen you throw a forehand.
It looks pretty smooth on tape. I didn't know I could overthrow it. Usually I have a short forehand, but with the 150 class, all it takes is a little flick of the wrist and you can get it down there.
You definitely got behind the pin, which is the safer way to play back, so it's not a terrible mistake to make at all.
But you can't even run putts like this out here. It's so dangerous. We had to lay these up. You never see me and Paul lay up from 35 feet. It's dangerous.
Definitely not. Even Ricky's going to lay up here since he's got that cushion lead. But here's Nico.
I thought he was going to lay this up at first, and then I was like, he's going to go for this.
He does go for it, and, you know...
Money in the bank.
Nice. Like they say, drive for show, putt for dough, and you're going to end on many top cards.
All week he made putts like that. Him and Ricky were slashing putts in the basket all week from 30, 35 feet.
And I said it before, and I'll say it again in this video, when you putt like that, and when Ricky Wasaki putts like that, like he did in Texas this year, he's hard to beat. And he's going to continue in to the 4th hole with still a good cushion. We're going to go to hole 17, another par 4, a lot of par 4s on this final 9, which allows for multiple stroke swings to happen. Whereas you don't see in normal disc golf 2-stroke swings happening on a lot of holes, it really opens it up.
It happens here, and I think that at this point Nico's thinking he has a chance to win, and he goes for the big shot off this tee with the big roller. I thought was a very dangerous decision, and instead of making a run to win, he puts himself back in the same position, OB, like Ricky was on the last hole.
So let's talk about this. We're on the 4th hole. You've got 5 to go. And Ricky's not really making too many mistakes. What's going through your mind at this point?
At this point, after I took that big number, I think, well, Ricky's out of range. Now it's a battle for 3 men to see who can get 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And after Nico's throwing OB there, I think there's an opening. But with shots like Ricky's throwing right here, his release seems off right now at this moment. And I'm thinking, these guys in front of me aren't thinking it's over yet. So that's good for me because they're chasing, leaving me a chance to maybe gain a stroke if they make a mistake chasing Ricky.
Definitely a couple different strategies that people are playing on this final 9, and land nicely in the fairway. And Ricky's got a pretty tough upshot to a green. It looks like he's going to lay up here.
Yeah, he's playing a game that I'm not used to seeing, but this is the maturing player of Ricky Wysocki. He's learning how that he doesn't need to make every shot to win. He needs to not make mistakes.
As we saw Paul McBeth on the 5th round take a big number on this because of this tricky green. I think Ricky saw that and has learned from that. This green can make or break a lot of people. Tell me about the challenges of this particular hole.
Well, this green is on the right. They put this rock up here. It seems like it's designed for disc golf, even though it's for ball golf. And if you don't make it over the rock, you take a very big chance of going back into the bunker OB. A lot of players hit off the rock, were safe, into the bunker. It just depends on your luck at that point. But if you're a good player like Paul is here, you're going to throw it over the rock the whole way and never risk it.
And then it's up on the crest of the hill, and Paul actually hits the rock, but I guess we call that world champ love, flash in the ring, right?
Yep, it definitely hits the rock, gets through, and that's the kind of things you need to have to be in the finals like this. You have to have it working for you.
And sometimes it's a little bit of luck that helps the skill, but we call it the shooter's roll.
And Nico stays on fire with that putter, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just keeps hitting these big putts, and he's pressing. He actually took 2nd place away from Paul in that 4-stroke swing on those last 2 holes of the 5th round, and he doesn't want to give it back.
It doesn't look like he is, and it looks like to me Paul's surprised by this. He thinks that he was going to make a big run, and he's surprised that he's having a fight just to maintain 3rd position.
Definitely a fatigue sets
I almost missed that. Slipped out of my hand. It's wet out there, and those discs are light.
It's wet out there. You've played 90-something holes in the past 72 hours. This tournament compared to other tournaments, how does fatigue factor in?
It was very tiring, with the time changes and the playing all day and the weather. Even as a young man, I struggled with it, but as an old man coming to this tournament, I could see that it takes a passion of a 20-year-old to stay in it.
The Professional Disc Golf Association is the governing body for the sport of disc golf. From local tournaments to the amateur and professional world championships, the PDGA oversees sanctioned events for disc golfers of all skill levels. The PDGA is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to promoting disc golf around the world. To learn more about the PDGA, visit www.pdga.com. Get out and play a round of disc golf. The sport of the future is here today.
Our next video comes from a crew who call themselves LCGM8 on their YouTube channel. This is the European Championship held just a few months ago in Geneva, Switzerland.
All right, guys, Ian and Garrett, and we're back for part 2 of the European Championships 2014. So, Seppo Pashu just took the lead from Simon.
Yeah, he did last hole. Had a great drive and banged his putt.
Yep. And then we're on hole 10. And
That was a crush.
that was a bomb. Juho is up next. After cutting a bird in the last hole as well. I think.
And a big old flex shots on this one.
Yeah. Pasi Koivu with his drive. Wow, huge Annie.
Really cool.
And getting that flex at the end, staying in the fairway.
Right in the middle.
Wow, what a bomb. Means Simon's up last, and he can get there, Garrett.
Yeah.
He gets a really good pull.
Oh, that thing's moving.
Wow. Need to
Kinda
get it
right
up a
over-
little bit.
Yeah, a little bit higher, and it's right over where Seppo ended up.
Mm-hmm. Juho with a second. Looks he's probably just laying it for a 3. Seppo with his second shot.
Giving it a run.
Wow. Almost made that. Simon finished pretty much pin high, it looks like. Has this for a birdie. Putting with that P2 Psycho.
Yep. Ooh.
Wow. Gave it a run.
Yeah, decent runs. Giving it a chance pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Posse's birdie look. Has JR behind him. Filming. Oh, wow.
He's all over the basket today.
He is.
From really far out.
Seppo taps in the 2.
3.
3.
Yeah. Yep, easy birds for everyone, seems like.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I gotta imagine some people were curting some eagles during the tournament.
Yeah. Get your drive a little more left and be in the putting circle.
Yep, definitely reachable for these guys. That's bringing us to hole 11, 449, another par 4. Looks like a double mando with a drop zone, if you missed that. And super straight with a slight finish to the left. And Seppo is up first.
Throwing down a roller. Ooh, looks like he might have missed that mando.
That did not look like it worked.
Yeah.
Juho says, screw that roller business. I'm
Just making it through.
throwing an air shot and making some mandos, yeah. And that he did. Nice laser beam. Posse's throwing a forehand. Oh no,
roller.
Forehand roller. Oh
That
my,
looked like it came out weird.
he missed it too. So Simon, pretty good opportunity
Gotta
for him to
make the mando.
capitalize.
It looks like he did.
I think he did, yeah. Yep. So Seppo came up short of the mando on his roller.
Yeah, it's a pretty good position right there.
Yeah. Able to get it through, but really couldn't do much.
Yeah.
Posse, after missing the mando, has this for a 3rd. See the basket up there with the flag waving?
Oh, yep. Pretty good.
Yeah, maybe come up a little short, but not bad at all. Seppo with his 3rd. Throwing a nice hyzer at it.
Yeah, wrapped around that bush / tree.
Yep, smart play. And Simon, after a pretty nice drive, has this for his 2nd shot. Just laying up for a bird.
Throwing that Annie around there.
Yeah. Look like he made it work. And then Juho got even farther than Simon.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was an awesome drive.
It'd be cool if I could say that one day. It'll never happen.
No, probably not.
Probably not. Posse, save par.
He'll probably just keep throwing farther and farther, and you'll just...
Keep getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Was that Juho tapping in the bird? Yeah.
Yep.
And drop in par for Seppo, and Simon says, I'm going to take
Yep.
that lead you had back. We're tied again.
6 holes to go.
6 holes to go, and they're all tied up, bringing us to hole 12, 417 par 4, island green.
Yeah, it looks like there's a safe fairway, but island green. Yeah.
Yep. Yuho's pole. Looks like he's playing it safe along the fairway, and he's going to pitch in later.
Yeah.
Simon.
I think he would go for it.
I have a feeling he might.
Either just the risk of missing it's going to be too big, though, and he wants to...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just laying up.
He is, isn't he? Smart play.
Yep.
Can't really take risks when you're tied. Maybe if you're behind, you can take that risk.
Exactly.
But, yeah. Got to keep the pressure on the other guy.
Yep.
Who's this guy right here?
Yeah,
Seppo.
see what he does.
Yep.
I imagine he's probably going to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Very similar looking shot. Looks like that'll work.
Let's see. Come on, Posse. You should give it a run.
Yeah.
People at home want to see it.
He can get it there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys
Yeah,
can get it there.
417. That's pretty doable.
Yeah. It's crushing your dreams, Garrett.
I know. I'll go out there next year.
You can't blame him, though. It's a smart play.
Yeah, I'd do the same thing, probably.
Yep. So Simon's second. He's got a throw from a fairway onto the island green. And oh
wow.
no. Oh, my gosh.
That hurts a lot.
Was the wind got him, or just didn't give it enough?
Usually not Simon's problem.
Yeah, it's very
come up short.
un-Simon. Well, that makes up for it on that shot, but
Bummer.
it still hurts. So it looks like they're playing bunker rules here. So
no penalty.
Yeah, no stroke. You just got to keep throwing until you make it.
Mm-hmm.
And, which is only once in
Yep.
Posse's case. Oh, sorry, Yuho.
Seppo's got to make it on there.
Yeah.
Keep giving up those silly strokes.
Mm-hmm. Seppo just jump putting it onto the island, and he's going to take that lead back from Simon.
Hitting the pin.
Or erase that tie anyway.
Yeah,
So,
took the lead back.
so here's Posse's second.
Throw it in again.
Do it.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Look good from this angle.
Yeah.
Yuho for bird.
Nice.
Nice work, sir. Posse for his birdie. Not a problem. And Simon taking a par. Losing a stroke to the cart, it looks like.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah. Sure he birdied that every single time he played it before that.
Yeah.
So Seppo's got that one stroke lead over Simon now, and don't forget Yuho. He's only one stroke back of that. And we're to hole 13, 636 par 4, and this is legitimate par 4. They're probably not going to do this one.
No.
Yuho's drives out there. Looks like that'll work. Seppo's up next. Cranked it, Garrett.
Yeah. Hopefully that gets back in bounds. Yep.
Wow. Nice drive. About to look at Posse's drive right here.
Good throw.
Yeah, ripping up that hyzer flip. Getting some turn and some fade. He's out there.
Yep. See what Simon can do.
Oh man, this should be fun. Simon maybe could actually reach this pin if you really wanted to. Might need a 360 drive to do it, but he can do it, yeah.
That was definitely down there.
That was a bomb for sure. Yuho up next. The first to take a second shot. Throwing a hyzer towards the basket and really
Right up there.
Yeah.
A little bit short, but still definitely within the circle.
Yeah, within Yuho's range. Posse throwing a pretty similar line, just a little bit closer. like it worked.
Yeah.
Seppo's behind that bush. There he is, throwing over it. And parked.
Keeping it close, not losing any strokes to anybody.
Yep, put the pressure on Simon to match him. Whoop.
Ooh, off the pin.
Almost skipped it in. Yuho with a nice birdie putt. And looks like we're looking at another star frame.
Nicely done, gents.
Yeah. A lot of par 4s on this course. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Some of them I think are probably par 3s.
Yeah.
Those, 450-ish ones.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, they're really technical, which is cool.
Yeah. Hole 14 is up next. Seppo still got that one-stroke lead.
Veteran pro Dave Feldberg is one of the commentators for our Japan Open story. Here's a look at a piece featuring Dave from our archives.
Hello, I'm Dave Feldberg, and I wanted to talk to you today about grips. I'm sure that most players at tournament level have learned about the power grip and the fan grip and all the many grips out there. But I want to talk to you about one of the misconceived notions about grips. The first part I want to mention is most players have learned that when throwing a driver, they use a power grip with 4 fingers some way tucked under the rim and gripping it tightly in their hand. Well, the common mistake amateurs and up-and-coming pros make is they choose their mid-range disc and they try to throw it the same way. And what this causes is a lack of disc control because the disc is bigger, you cannot get as much hand on top of it, and you tend to spray it left or right more often. I know you'll get more spin that way and you can throw them farther, but a mid-range disc is for accuracy and not for distance, and that's what you got to remember. So most top players, from me to Barry to Climo to Jenkins, switch to a grip called a fan grip for mid-range discs. And this is instead of tucking all the 4 fingers on there, even though it feels good, we put it in our hand so that the crease of the disc lies in this first digit of your hand. This allows you to have control, and when you're throwing, you'll be able to come out, and it's the last part it touches is that crease right there. You can easily be much more accurate. It'll cause you to throw a more nose-up, controlled approach shot, which most players at this level need to get. So remember, power grip on drivers, but switch to a fan grip. Now, it doesn't have to be that fan grip if you're not comfortable with your hand like that, but something where you have more of your fingers on the plate side so that you can control the disc. It's bigger, and this will give you a much better up and down game. This is the modified fan grip. And how it works is it goes in this digit on the bead, trying to touch the plate. The middle finger gives you your stabilization of the flight plate, and then your pinky tucks it in and your finger stacks. This is the most common fan grip that players use. This is the driver grip, and for some reason, we don't know how, me, Nate Doss, Steve Rico, Climo, Schultz, Jenkins, we all throw this exact same grip and we never showed each other. And that's the 2 fingers in the middle being tucked against the inside of the rim and the other 2 being flat on the rim, causing a modified power grip where we can actually control and still get much spin and distance on it. A lot of players seem to want to go like this when they hear about power grip, but this causes a lot of loss of accuracy. We can still get the same amount of power and a little more accuracy by getting these fingers flat like your fan grip, so it's in your hand, and then having this still in a crease so your hand has that same comfortable muscle memory. Key to all these grips is a lot of players want to do this, a lot of players want to do this. There should be an imaginary plate, and you could do it with see-through discs. Let me grab one. Where you can actually see what I'm talking about is that this part of your thumb should meet this part of your finger, and this should be where you grip. That's the grip. If you look at it through the see-through,
Right on top.
Right on top, it's right there. See?
Oh yeah, do that again.
See, it's right there. See the finger? See the thumb right on top of it. If you put it over here, then you're pushing away from the power. Put it over here, you're slipping out of the power. You want it right on top of your strongest finger. And that was Dave Feldberg with grips. Keep practicing in the field. Remember that every grip is different for every person, but modify one that fits in your hand for the best.